Chair. I think I might be the final speaker on this appropriations, economic development and infrastructure debate. There doesn't seem to be anybody else jumping up for this particular... Oh, you've got a call to go. I might not be the last one. Mr Chair, I have to say, after the delivery that we got from the honourable member Simon Bridges, I have to say I had a little bit of sick in my mouth and a bit woozy from all the propaganda that I was hearing coming from that side of the quarter. To be fair, I think Mr Bridges would make a better job at writing children's novels where they are candy floss clouds, lollipops for trees, and of course the rest of the country is made of Cadbury chocolate. I'd like to talk and spend my time talking about two particular parts in this debate, the economic development and infrastructure debate, and that's about transportation. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. There's two parts to that. There's the rail and the regional roading part. A lot of time has been taken up by a number of members within the House on that because it is a very, very important part for New Zealand. Having good roading infrastructure and rail infrastructure is very important. What I am going to spend a bit more time on is talking about the labour market. And I think it's really important because very shortly we're right in the final stages of putting together our new health and safety reform bill. There's been a lot of passion coming in with people delivering their messages, some people with some serious concerns, and there's a lot of people on tenterhooks waiting to see the outcome of what the Select Committee has got through. Of course, we were very close to delivering that last month, and then it was pulled off the table by the Cabinet, and now we've got it back there for the final stages. And I think more importantly, there's a couple of reports that have been written. In fact, one of them I'll just touch on now. It's from the press on the 19th of June. It's got here, the headline is "Dangers of Mines and Quarries Were Forgotten." It says here, it's talking about the mines and the quarries. It says here, in the early to mid-1990s, the regulations for these industries were enforced by the Mining Inspection Group, or MIG. This was a group of around 10 to 12 mines and quarry inspectors who visited the sites regularly and enforced regulatory safety standards. And I think that's the key here. We all realise that there needs to be some changes with our health and safety reform. However, to throw the baby out with the bathwater, as this report previously says, is not the right way to go. It's not smart. It's not actually, it's starting from scratch. And I don't think we're actually going to be teeing this off to the level that we need to tee it off to make it absolutely pitch perfect. And when we look at the current occupational health and safety, there's three clauses that really jump out to me as being front and centre, and things that I think really need to be considered for the future and well-being of our employers. And this is duties of employers to people who are not employees. And it says here, every employer shall take all practical steps to ensure that no action or inaction of any employee while at work harms any other person. Now that goes on and comes up in clauses 15 and 17 and 19 in the current legislation. Now the reason why I'm talking about that specifically is because when we listen to Mr English's budget debate on the 21st of May of this year, he makes a very strong point with regards to his comment, quote, "The government is also investing $32 million over 4 years to increase the number of labour inspectors and strengthen enforcement of employment law." Well, I have to say I thought it's quite an ambitious comment saying that for the next 4 years they're going to spend $32 million because, of course, I think there'll be a big surprise if they get through the next election. In fact, if there's not already going to be a snap by-election. Look, what that means is $8 million a year increase is going to be spent, which is around about $153,000 a week. Now, if you annualise that or average that out into an hourly rate at $100,000 a year, that is going to give around about 80 enforcement staff full-time at $100,000 a year to go and do the job of ensuring that the enforcement of this act is upheld. Well, goodness me, if this is the delay in getting the support and the funding, I say it's a little bit too late. There's been a lack of costings versus the value of investment into looking after the health and safety of our workers. And if we had only had, this government had the foresight to put that sort of funding in 7 years ago, and let's not take it all and put all the blame on international, but Labor as well, put that sort of enforcement and those sort of officers into place, we wouldn't have the problem that we've got currently with our health and safety situation. Oh, goodness me.
I call Clee Curran.
5 minutes.